Behind me is my $1,100 racing sim, and today we make it cooler. A few videos back, I made a complete YouTube video building my entire racing sim. And in that video, the cockpit that I used is a flexible cockpit, meaning I can basically slide it around anywhere in my room. But the one part that was missing to that is what's called the seat add-on, which basically makes it feel more realistic and more immersive. Now, I've made a lot of TikToks and even YouTube shorts that some of you have probably seen about my racing sim. This box is extremely heavy. It doesn't look like it, but like, it takes a lot of effort because there's a whole chair as well as a bunch of other metal parts. But enough wasting y'all's time. I'm super excited to open this box, so let's get into it. Now that everything is officially unboxed, I'm gonna put it all away temporarily. So time to clean everything up periodically. Okay, we're back. It's day 2, so let's finish building this seat add-on because I'm super excited. So I just finished building the entire seat add-on, but we have a dilemma. This piece right here is what I just put together, and this is basically where your shifter and e-brake goes, which is what I have over there. The instructions basically say to essentially like put it right here, but this just feels like way too far, and I get you can move up. I don't know. It might work, it might not. I think I'm gonna try this last, but what I'm first gonna do is try to lower that first, and if I like it kind of higher up, I'll keep it there, but if I don't, I'm gonna try to put it down here. I just finished connecting both the racing sim cockpit and the seat add-on, and here's the next thing we gotta solve. Still haven't decided on this. I think I actually am going to put it on the included, where did it go, mount thing that they give me. I unscrewed both the screws, so I'm gonna try to level this out because it was way too high considering that it was meant for my desk. I still think it'll work. Considering I did get a new monitor that is a lot bigger and is curved, I think it'll work. I might just have to look up a little bit. Other than that, I'm gonna get this level to my liking, and then I'm gonna work onto the shifter and e-brake. After a very frustrating time, I disassembled the original shifter and e-brake, and now I have to go through the long, tedious process of custom drilling holes into this plate so that it'll properly work on this mount. Honestly, I'm just gonna wait for my dad. He knows exactly how to do it and has all the right tools, and then I'll come back to this. So we're back at it, finishing the full racing sim setup. You essentially have to make this plate work with both this shifter, which is most likely going to go here. Obviously, it's going to be flipped. And then we're going to take the e-brake right here and then put that on the other side. But we got to mount both of those and then mount it to this side. So I just finished using my little makeshift method. Thanks to my dad, we were able to dig through and find a screw that would actually fit this. Obviously, it's not color matched, but that really doesn't bother me. I only used 3 screws because, as you can tell, this part of it is blocked. So I used 1, 2, and 3, and so this will hold the shifter in place perfectly fine, no issues with that. And then we were able to have an opening to fit the normal one to fit back here. We just had to get creative with this one back here. So far it works. Now we're gonna go attach this to the actual seat on part. So I just finished installing the shifter, and all I have to say is you really have to make sure you tighten these 3 screws, and any screws related to if you're going for the manual setup in your racing sim, because if you don't, this will wobble around. I literally used every ounce of effort in my body to tighten these, and it still slightly wobbles, which I mean is understandable, the base, just because it's like it's only secured from right here, so I can see that, but you really got to make sure everything is, you know, really secured, fastened, all that. So I just finished building my entire racing sim setup. I added on the C edition, I connected to my original cockpit, and everything is complete. Obviously, I could add more to my sim setup, and I plan to over time, but for right now, I'm very happy with how everything has turned out. I've never really covered this topic before, and this was something I wanted to cover, you know, coming from my previous video with the knowledge I learned from building basically half of my sim setup and then building the other half today, whether it's actually worth picking one up or putting one together. Now, there are three main things that I think anybody should consider if you're thinking about picking up a racing sim or building one yourself. First off is it actually going to be worth it to you? Second, what's your budget? And lastly, how often are you going to play it? And in my case, how often do I play it? First off, is it going to be actually worth it to you? And I think a lot of people overlook this step when it actually comes to building these things. Racing sims are not cheap, and you can easily spend thousands of dollars without even thinking. So you really have to think, you know, am I really into cars? Now, obviously for car enthusiasts, people that live and breathe and are just truly obsessed with cars, you're gonna love it no matter what sim setup you have. What sim racing will do to you is make you want to do it in real life. And while the majority of us don't have the luxury to have a nice car to take the track, you know, or whatever, the replacement is this. So if you're the type of person that likes to cut up traffic, go on the drag strip, take it on the track, even formula racing, then the racing sim is gonna have everything for you. Number two involves money and sticking to a budget. I mentally just calculated everything, and my current setup is worth over $1,600, which I'll be completely honest is extremely overkill. I always recommend a lot of people the Logitech steering wheels, and depending on your level of enthusiasm, I guess you could say, you could be willing to spend thousands of dollars, you could be willing to spend a few $100s. I've also seen a lot of people Facebook Marketplace their way through things and get really good deals, and I've even seen people even build their own cockpits out of wood. So you can get really creative and also save a lot of money. I say this to say that there are racing sim parts that are hundreds of dollars. This KS Formula steering wheel from Moza is over $250, which in some cases is more than a complete racing sim setup from Logitech. So things can easily get carried away. Last but not least, do I actually use it? I'm gonna be brutally honest because I wanna help you guys make an informed decision. I play in my racing sim maybe 1 to 2 times every few-ish weeks. And there are a couple reasons for that. First, I'm a very busy person. Not to mention it's sometimes a hassle to kind of take it out and put it back in just because I don't have my racing sim in a permanent location. But it's important to think about your circumstances, where you're going to end up using it. Is it going to be a permanent location? Is it going to be a flexible location, a desk, sit-stand desk, where your PC is going to be? Blah, 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 blah. Take into account all the factors and then come to a conclusion from that. Lastly, I'd like to talk about my personal experience with the racing sim setup. Now, I will say if you plan to build one of these yourself, they do take time. Even if they say they're compatible, something isn't going to line up. You're going to have a hiccup, and it's going to take a long time to troubleshoot. From an overall performance standpoint, my experience has been great. As a car enthusiast, I love anything car related, and it's been an absolute joy to make sim content, and I hope to continue to make it, and with new products, new videos, getting creative, and all that good stuff. I'll leave links down below to everything I have in my setup, as well as all my sim gear if you're interested. And if you did go on to enjoy this video, feel free to hit the like button and also join my Twitch streams. I stream all the time over there. Love interacting with chat and building a personal connection with you guys. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.